Washington Redskins select Terry McLaurin, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Thank you so much, Terry.
Oh, man, nice to meet you.
You know, we just play country people from Indiana. There's nothing real special about us but hard work and effort.
If I can make somebody's day, or if I can make somebody's, hour, I'm gonna try to do that. And they get to see me with my helmet. And that's the ultimately thing I want to do is show people who I am on and off the field. So I'm gonna go do that every time I can, and hopefully I can touch everybody I can, and we're gonna go for them, try to get this done.
The only thing you really got is your name and your reputation. What they gonna say about your name? What they gonna say about your reputation? What they gonna say when they turn that film off? I know what they gonna say about me.
Is the best contested catch receiver in the National Football League.
Oh yeah!
Gabriel Clark for McLaurin in the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown!
Just a tremendous wide receiver.
Amazing catch by one of the second receivers in the sport.
Commanders family, it is finally official. AP and the squad got it done because wide receiver Terry McLaurin is going to be running it back in the burgundy and gold after signing a 3-year extension. Our boy got that bag, and we are so happy to have him with us in the burgundy and gold. Welcome into Command Center. This is the Big Bear AI Command Center studio, and I'm here with some amazing gentlemen. Mr. 8 to the 9, Santana Moss, the mouth of the South, Fred Smoot, and the legend, Mr. Logan Paulson. Now, Tana, bro, you've been on ESPN, Bleacher Report, the CW, everywhere saying, give my man 1-7 that money. He finally got his money, man. How happy were you?
I didn't say it like that. But I was pleased, man. I mean, I was happy for both parties. I think when you look at it as a player, man, you want to see everybody kind of get that bag, get what they're probably, should I say, their due.
Yes,
and for this team, I just knew how much he means to our offense. So I wanted to see him out there come week one, knowing that we're going to have a tough task in the division. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that it got done when it got done. I would have loved to see him out there in the preseason practicing, but Terry say first things first. And now it's behind us.
First things first. And Logan, I think the big speculation about this was the numbers, right? Everybody wanted to know what the numbers were, why they couldn't meet in the middle on this. But this deal, the numbers have come out, and it looks as if this is beneficial for both sides.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. And I say, what I like about it is there's more guaranteed money for the player. And like Tana was just talking about, you got to get paid. I like guaranteed money. Let's make that happen. They did a great job with that. I also love the deal structure because it really is team friendly in terms of how the money's allocated over the course of the deal. So I think when you say best for both parties, I think that shows up when you look at the numbers for the deal.
And Fred, you're not only a man of the people, you're also the voice of the people, man. So how is the fan base feeling right now to have a guy like Terry McLaurin here for a few more years?
Money, 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 money! Listen, it's one of those things where no matter who I bumped into when it came to the fan, it's we're gonna pay Terry. We're gonna pay Terry. And I'm telling them, just be patient. It's one of these things when you're held in negotiation, it's both sides of negotiation. All right, it's a give and a take to it. Like all us been through it, all us been in negotiations, and you ask for this, and you're gonna get this, and let's just meet in the middle. Like, what's going on?
I've been in one. But most of mine are like, hey, you make league minimum. So sign right there, perfect.
You still negotiating. It's fine, but it can get heated. It can get emotional. It can somebody telling you your worth. Like it's one of those things where I think once both sides got down and got grounded, they got right to the basics. They made it happen, and that's all that matters. Terry means so much to this offense, and I know if anybody was happy, it was JD5. JD5 was happy to see him sign that dotted line because that's my go-to man. Anytime I'm in trouble, I'm going to him. I don't care if he covered, I'm going to him. That's my dude. So I'm happy for JD5 that Terry's here.
I think everybody is excited. Honestly, you got to get live show coming up, and I think that just got a little more interesting. It's going to be feeling a lot better during that live show. Now, before we wrap up, fellas, you mentioned him being away and trying to catch up on some things. Tana, you've been a receiver right there. And I think a lot of the fans were nervous, like, man, he's missing camp, he's missing these preseason games. What does he have to do to catch up and get on track? Or is it really not as bad as people think?
Well, I don't know. I think, it all depends on how that player kind of handled this situation, being away from those guys. Because we all know it's no training or conditioning like you being out there going through those rigorous, drills and practices and even the preseason games. So I think, this coaching staff is smart enough. They know how to probably handle that situation. They're gonna bring him in here and spoon feed him a little bit. But at the same time, the individual, Terry himself, he was doing something.
Yes.
We didn't see it, but he was doing something to make sure that he don't have to be too far behind.
And one thing we've all learned these past years, there's nobody gonna outwork Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
And he deserves this money. We're so happy to have him in the building for a few more years. We actually got to talk to Terry right after he put pen to paper. He talked to the media. Let's hear from the guy with all that new money.
Money, 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 money.
The timing worked out perfectly. We have essentially about 2 weeks for me to get acclimated with, football, like your helmet on, running routes, catching passes. But to be honest, to a certain degree, it's kind of like riding a bike. Like I was out there today. I had a lot of good reps out there. I caught passes, and I was telling Jaden, it's like riding a bike. You know what I mean? I catch a ball over my shoulder, like, God's blessed me with a great ability to, track a football and play at a high level and have energy. So those things never run away from you per se. I wasn't just doing nothing while this contract situation was going on. There was a great ramp-up period for me. I'm in great shape. And so, I'm just looking forward to, moving on to the next step in the next journey that's ahead of us. And so I'm glad to put this behind me and be in a place that I'm extremely happy, a contract that I'm happy about, where I feel valued and appreciated from everyone. And I'm going to go out there and continue to prove why that is.
Great to know that Scary Terry is here to stay after a Pro Bowl season in 2024. Now, the All-Pro receiver recorded his 5th straight 1,000-yard season and broke the franchise record for most touchdowns in a season. A big year for Scary Terry, and the fellas are standing by to break down some film on Terry McLaurin. This is your best seat in the house, presented by SeatGeek. The most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Brian, thanks. And we're going to talk about some of those touchdowns right now because I was going through the clips, Tana, and I was like, what does he do well? What's his superpower? Everyone says, he doesn't do this. I have never seen a guy run the go ball more consistently and with more diversity than Terry McLaurin. Let's check it out. He's right here at the bottom, and it's a tight split, Fred. And when we looked at this clip, you said, not expecting a go from a tight split.
If I'm a cornerback right now, I'm not expecting to go. He's at the top of the numbers, and he's 2 steps inside the top of the numbers.
So what I want to point out here, Tana, and this is something I've seen you do, I've seen a lot of people do, watch the stem, the beginning of the route. He's going to stem out. The DB is going to open his hips and turn, and then he's going to push this inside. And this is quarters coverage. This is not a great coverage to be running a go ball, but his initial setup and understanding the spacing here puts him in a good position, Tana. Check me out, right? Gets the guy to open his hips. I can run it out there. I can run a dig. And then I just run by because I'm just a better athlete than everybody else, right?
First mistake by the DB was how he turned his hips. If he turned it if it's cover 4, he's supposed to be opening up like this defensive back did up here, opening up to the inside, not the outside. He's beat by leverage from the door right there.
And I thought maybe I was wrong, but this looks like quarters to me. You're not supposed to be able to hit a go on quarters, Tana. And the one thing that he does, again, exceptionally well is tracking the football down the field.
Best tracker in the world. Dude. One of the things that stood out to me about that route, because when you saw how tight he was from initial split, normally a DB saying he's coming out.
He's coming out.
That's a great point.
He's going in.
So what we was always told, sometimes you cheat to give him that kind of, perception of what you're going to do and say, okay, hey, I'm going to run it to the outside of the edge of these numbers, and as soon as I get him to open up enough, I'm going to run straight through the numbers, and the ball should be hitting me. So that was a great route by him, but it was also an even better pass by JD5.
Yeah, and you can see the chemistry, right? You can't maximize him without a great play at the quarterback spot.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And so this one too, right? So what do we got here? This is a straight stem go, right? We're talking about the art of running a go here, right? Watch him run down this guy. He starts on the bottom of the numbers. He stays on the bottom of the numbers. And then check him out at the top here. It's just a subtle head fake. To me, it feels like post.
Yeah, but the tempo. Look at the tempo that he's running. He's not just screaming out of there. He's giving his time. He's giving JD5 time because he understands we only got 20 yards to work with. He understands my tempo would make that DB stop his feet, and now I can run past him.
I'm so glad you brought that up because there is layers to it, right? Even on the last route, right? I'm accelerating, and then I burst through it, right? I mean, you're a smart guy. It makes it worse when you tell everybody you're smart, right? And then finishing the catch here, right?
I mean, it's all about just giving him something, giving him a little bait so he can get his feet stuck. And Fred just mentioned that, but It's odd to me how he was able to get back outside.
Right, isn't it?
You don't see that.
Yeah. But I think it comes off the stem, right? I'm staying vertical. I'm thinking post. I'm thinking dig. Yeah. And then it's just that little subtle head fake. It's the same thing he did in the last round, right? So
move, man.
The ability to stack these things and use your tool chest. And the other thing I want to point out is these are not routes you see on Instagram. Yeah. These are just well-run, well-executed, well-coached routes.
Let me find the spot. Like, he understands that.
And so the other one, man, is we're working at the line of scrimmage here. And, I've seen a lot of receivers have a hard time here, Tana. Would you say the most disruptive thing for you is the press coverage, right?
Press coverage.
So watch him. I'm going to work a little outside stem here. I'm going to kind of hit the jab here. Bump, bump, bump. I'm back in.
Yes, sir.
And then, Tana, fundamental, go ball, 101. I'm going to stack the DB.
Stack the DB.
Stay over top.
Tell my son this every day. Stack the DB.
Yeah. And the DB can't get on this play, right, Fred?
No, he can't do that. Take me back to the beginning.
To the beginning.
Take me back right now when he does the NC Hammer. I'm gone. I'm gone right now. The DB is already chasing. He already know he's beat right there.
And so this is actually really good by him. Again, the DB getting back in the face here, but great fundamentals in route running. Yes. Stems, indicators, vertical stem, and then what do we do well at the catch point, Tana? We make contested catches, man.
Contested catches, man.
Dude, he's the best in the league.
Nobody
he's the
better
best
than
in the league at contested catches.
And so we can watch this all day. There's about 20 more clips here. We're not going to get to them because the segment's over. But Brian, back to you.
MC Hammer.
Shout out to Logan and the fellas breaking it down in the film room. No better film to watch than Terry McLaurin. Now let's take a look at the career numbers for the All-Pro receiver. 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons, 38 touchdowns, and 2 Pro Bowl selections. And possibly Terry's biggest fan is standing by to rap with us about this new news. And he just so happens to be a future Hall of Famer. This is your can't miss moment presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official partner of the Washington Commanders. And that future Hall of Famer is no other than my guy, Brian Mitchell. B, like I said, you are a huge Terry McLaurin fan, man. How happy were you to hear the news?
I was thrilled and I was ecstatic, seeing Terry come back, a guy that basically fits the complete mold of what a commander is. You have to respect that. He goes out there, he plays his butt off. He's been terrific with bad quarterbacks. Now he has a great quarterback. You wanted to see him come back, and I'm looking forward to this year.
And B, there was so much speculation about AP and how he was going to handle this. Terry, if he really wanted to be here, how those money was going to go. But we've actually seen those numbers, and Logan talked about it a little earlier, how that's really good for both sides, this contract. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Well, Terry gets a lot of money in his account right now. Anybody wants that guaranteed money, and the team didn't have to go out there and break the bank. But the ultimate thing is, I think both people are happy. Listen, there's an old saying, if you shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you end up among the stars. He's ended up among the stars. You always ask for a certain level, but you're willing to accept a certain level. He got his money. He's happy about it. And now let's go. Let's get Jaden and the team rocking.
And B, you've been in that locker room before when a big money guy comes back in after a holdout, man. What is the locker room feeling right now? Getting to see Terry back in, knowing he got taken care of, knowing that this front office did what they were supposed to do.
Well, the locker room is thrilled for him. They're very happy for him because they understand that they're a much better team with 17 in the locker room. They know that Terry goes out there and he performs at a certain high level. He's been there the whole time talking to all those guys. They know what's going on. But as Bobby Wagner said earlier, football is a business. And that business is mind your own. And a lot of guys did that. Terry got his deal. Now it's all about going to work. You got a lot of people out there trying to speculate this and that. To hell with the outside people. The people inside that locker room, is all that matters.
Couldn't have said it better myself, B. And that wasn't the only news we got this week. The official 53-man roster was put out, man. What were your first thoughts when you saw the guys that made it and some of the guys that didn't?
Well, I wasn't shocked by a lot, to be totally honest with you. Ja'Cory Brooks, I felt that kid could have had a chance to get on the active roster. He'll probably end up making the practice squad, but then he'll be able to do something a little bit later. But when you look at it, the biggest shock was Brian Robinson going to San Francisco. Once that happened, I think everything else fell right in place. You got guys, you got a lot of guys on the offensive line. 9 guys. I think of those 9 guys, 6 or 7 of those guys are very versatile. So they went out and they got what they wanted, and they are going to be able to move forward with a very good football team.
And you talked about that B-Rob move. A guy that I know we really like, that we've been rooting for the last few seasons, is Chris Rodriguez Jr. I don't think you move B-Rob unless you fully believe in what Chris Rodriguez has going on, man. How happy were you to see a guy that went through a number of cuts last year be able to make this roster?
Well, what I see with Chris is a lot of coaches probably talked to him and told him what he needed to do to stick. Because there were many times where he'll be released and he'll still be there. But they went out there, he came back lighter, he came back faster. I watched him with some blitz pickups. He did a great job of blocking for Jaden. Now you move forward with a Deebo Samuels on the team. You have Bill on the team. And also, McNichols is still here. With Jaden running the ball well, I think you still can go out there and have a damn good running game.
B, week 1 of Game Day Live just got that much more interesting. Shout out to the future Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champion, Brian Mitchell. B, I'll see you week 1 when we're celebrating the Commanders and our boy, Santana Moss.
Tana, man. See y'all there, man. Be good.
It's time for Top 5, presented by UA Local 5 Plumbers, protecting the health of the nation's capital since 1890. Now let's take a look at the dynamic duo that was Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin in 2024. The boys got it done together, but what was most important was they had the most passing touchdowns by a rookie quarterback to a single wide receiver in NFL history. JD5 adding to that historic rookie year with 1 to the 7. Now, there's nothing like having a dominant receiver, and luckily for us, our command center crew has one of the most dominant Washington receivers to ever play the game. That's Mr. 8 to the 9. He's standing by with the fellas to break down this Commanders receiving room. It's a Tana takeover.
Ooh, I like that one, man. Hey, thanks for that one. Now, fellas, I don't have to say much when I'm talking about this first guy I got on here. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you this. Don't get scared. Yeah. But Mr. Boo is back. I'm fine with that. We got my guy, Terry McLaurin. Yes. Yeah. Now. Mask on or mask off? Mask on, mask off, however you want it. He going to bring it. 1-7, that's what he do. Yeah. I'm glad he's back in the building. Now, one of the things about Terry McLaurin, the reason why I was so antsy of us getting that deal done, he brings consistency. Yep. He brings stability. Mm-hmm. And he just a dog-ass player. And some leadership. And leadership. But he has the attitude that DQ loves, and that's what we was missing this whole preseason. Mm-hmm. So to know that 1-7's gonna be on that field against them Giants, man, I'm pleased. I'm pleased and happy that he's gonna be. We ain't gonna have to worry about him not being out there making plays.
Do you agree with me that Terry is very Jerry Rice in his talent? Meaning he has no defining trait. He just good at living everything.
You love this take.
No, I'm just saying he's very Jerry Rice.
1-7, but I don't put nobody in Jerry Rice.
I didn't say he was Jerry. But I'm saying the traits. The traits.
I feel what you're saying. All right. Now, Jerry's one of those guys, too. When you look at Jerry Rice, you look at his body work, you say, man, what does he do? And then you see him on the field, everything right.
Everything right. That's just this guy
that's
right there. Yeah.
All right. Well, number 2.
What we got?
Swiss Army knife himself.
Ooh, I gotta put my chain up.
Also kind of scary a little bit, too.
He coming. He coming. Mr. Debo Samuels, what is it? He's a junior, ain't he?
Yeah.
Mr. Debo
he's a senior.
He's a senior?
Yeah.
My bad, Debo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't take your chain.
But one of the things about Debo that's so special, and why I love the fact that now he can do what he does best, because we got 1-7 on the other side, is Debo is one of those guys, man. On the ground, through the air, just get him in the ball. Just give him the football. He's going to find a way to get it done. You know, I heard so many people talking about his routes, talking about his weight, but when you turn on the film, he's productive.
All he do is make plays.
He know how to make plays in any given way. So Debo Samuels, for me, you can do no wrong, bro. Tell me what you want to talk about.
No. Listen, I saw him ride up on the bike. I started running. Like when he came to Ashburn, he rode up on the bike. I started running, Tam.
See, I know Fred. He always got something else going on, so I had to make sure. Now I have a guy here, man. This guy.
This is my favorite guy.
The fountain
your favorite
youth.
guy.
My favorite guy.
When I hear you, look, hear me out. He found the fountain of youth. In Jaden Daniels himself. And this guy is no other than
Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz, man, he had a stat last year that I keep talking about that just, I couldn't believe. He was 24 for 24 throughout that little playoff run when it came to moving the chains.
Sound
that
like me shooting basketball. Sound like me shooting.
It's my segment for it.
All right.
That was amazing. So when I look at a guy like Zach Ertz, man, you talking about safety blanket, safety jacket, whatever you want to call it. Double this guy. Better yet, double this guy. Who got Zach?
No, nobody.
Hey, back to you, BC.
Hey, man, shout out to Tana for the takeover. That deep sigh when Fred speaks is always great, man. Now, the 2024 season marked a big one for the Commanders' offense. Now, Terry isn't the only breaking news here, fellas. Earlier this week, the Commanders announced the 53-man roster heading into this season. Big moves from General Manager Adam Peters and head coach Dan Quinn, who spoke to the media earlier this week.
Gosh, I could probably go through the whole roster and tell you something I like about every single guy on there and every single guy we have on the practice squad as well. But the depth, I think the depth is better, up front on both sides, and just bringing in some guys who are really complementary through free agency, through the draft, that really fit in what we're doing. So just the identity of the team overall, without having to single out anybody, just the overall identity and competitiveness that every player has on this team, and really kind of fits in what we're looking for as competitors. I don't know if you got anything there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A lot of things. I would say it's good. It's I love that we've added some players like Von Miller. You don't just sign one. He's a multiplier. By the way, he connects to others in the room and standards, and that's no different than Wagner and Ertz and some others. But there's a lot of things, that we love about this team, like to have this many guys want to come back and be a part of the practice squad after Adam and I sitting in front of them on a tough day. That speaks to their regard for one another and knowing that they want to be a part of it. And so I thought what the players have built here together is pretty damn special.
It's time for Securing the W, presented by Hercules Fence. Security in every job. Fellas, we are just a week away from the regular season, man. The final 53-man roster has been announced. Now, there's a lot to talk about, but first things first, what was that initial view when you saw the 53?
Normally, man, when you watch the preseason and you see a couple of guys jump off the page, you're surprised that this guy didn't make it. But this time around, I'm not surprised. You know, it seemed like everybody who we saw that flashed, it pretty much had a chance, and they pretty much with us today,
Yeah. I think it's when you look at it, Eddie Goldman shocked me. All right, when I look at the offensive line, I look at like how many players did they keep between the offensive line and the defensive line. That really shocked me, but it also told me how they identify this team. This team is identified by the trenches. All right, it's about the offensive line, it's about the defensive line, and if you look at the numbers there, it's more than most teams would keep at that time.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be Ale Cajo. Like, I know he had a great preseason, but you're always unsure with those undrafted free agent guys. And again, he didn't have, the most standout OTA or minicamp period. Kind of had a slow start to camp. Then for him to rally and really make a push late, I thought was fantastic. But I think that my main takeaway is that the team's together, or at least this version of it. And I think that's kind of exciting.
And Logan, I'm surprised you didn't mention it off the rip. Your boy, Colson Yankoff, another undrafted tight end, makes this roster. You've been telling Fred about this guy all offseason, man. I appreciate you educating
You said what surprised us. Yeah. That didn't surprise me at all. I think he's had a great training camp. Right? He's been great on teams. He's made explosive plays in the passing game. So, I was not surprised by that as much as Fred was. But anyway.
I was not surprised. I have been the biggest fan of Colson Yankoff. I always thought he was a great athlete. He has more wiggle than any tight end in there. I think he showed that on that long play in that game.
Logan told us that, though.
Logan ain't told you nothing.
Thank you, Logan. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And another person Logan's been high on, I think we've all been high on this offseason, is Chris Rodriguez, man. We know what he's been through, man. Cut several times last year, still found a way to make this roster, and is on the final 53-10. And, man, that's a big deal, not only for Chris, but that whole running back room is very interesting.
Just true testament of how you can develop a player. I think when you look at him when he first came in, a little heavy on, a little pudgy to be your starting running back or be a guy that you kind of want to depend on or put a great load on. And year after year, like you said, he'd been cut, had his number taken from him, comes back. He finds a way to be on this roster. But not only that, this year, when he came into camp, slim, I said he was on a mission. I said, this man here has his mind made up. Someone told him, hey, you cut a little bit of that weight, you'll be much faster. And he still could do some of the same things he did when he first came in a couple of years ago. So I'm happy for him, happy for the team, but I'm more happy for him just seeing his maturation.
Yeah, and Ted, you talked about the team developing him, but talk about the initiative to develop yourself. All that work happens in the offseason. And to me, that's the thing. If you're an undrafted guy, late round guy, it's not on the coaches to develop you, it's on yourself. And so I think he's a perfect example and a guy that you just can't help but root for.
Resilience. When I think of Chris Rodriguez, resilient. Change his name to Chris Resilient, because that's what he is. Like the roach in the room, I'm never leaving. Like he let them know whatever I need to do, I'm going to do it. One of the best pass blocking backs we got when it comes to short yardage. And he showed you during the preseason, now that I've lost a little bit of this weight, I can break one of these things if I need to. So, hey, I'm cheering for that guy, and I'm glad he made the team.
And there's proof they're brought in, right? Because you don't move a guy like Brian Robinson Jr. unless you got a guy like Chris Rodriguez that can come in and step up. So that running back room is looking good. But I think possibly our deepest room, at least the room with the most depth, defensive backs, Fred. Our defensive back room is looking good, man. Give your boy some love.
Like he put it together.
I'm going to cross my legs on this one. Because last year, we had this talk, and everybody was like, what's going on in the defensive backfield? I was like, just be patient, let Grandma cook. And now, that whole room has been rearranged. All right, now you're talking about having a healthy Marshawn Lattimore. You're talking about Sanders Steele in his white spot. You're talking about Amos over there. Like, we got guys. You got Jonathan Jones over there. It don't matter where you look in this group. Will Harris, it's guys everywhere, and they all interchangeable. Yeah. They all can play different positions. They all can do whatever needed at that day. And I love this because the last time that this defensive backfield was good, I was playing in it.
Oh, man.
Stop.
How do you do that? Look, we're going to power through because he talked about a room being rearranged. I think that's very likely for the defensive line room, too. Yeah. We've seen a lot of different faces there. What are you expecting from our guys up front?
Yeah, man, I think this was, again, like the top 5 of that group was like rock solid. I felt like you kind of knew from the jump that they were going to make it, then they kind of filled it out at the bottom. But, I mean, it's the same kind of stuff Fred's talking about. They were really dynamic throughout training camp. There's a different type of physicality, different type of size. And, again, like all these things they talked about doing this offseason, they did, and you saw it actualized when the roster came together.
And, fellas, real quickly, we can talk a lot about this roster. We talk a lot about Jaden Daniels' second year, but it's also head coach Dan Quinn's second year as leader of the helm for the Burgundy and Gold. We're going to hear from him in a little bit, but, fellas, what are y'all expecting to see from Dan Quinn in year 2, who's quickly become one of the best leaders in the NFL?
I think one of the things that stands out to me is just he has the same kind of head that he came in with. You know, last year when you see a coach have the success like that, you can see a change. And that's just from my perspective of playing on teams where coaches had success. Yeah. When I watch this guy come in with the same the same kind of mindset, the same kind of, when it comes to his aura, when he walks into a room, he's one of those guys that, hey, it's the same, we're going to move to the same beat. So I'm looking forward to him just bringing the same message and letting these guys know, man, we still have unfinished business.
It's like being a parent. Like, we all parents. So when you tell a kid one time what to do, they don't do it. You tell them the second time, they kind of get it. Well, this is his second time around. Mm-hmm. Now they're going to get how he feels and what he wants and how he wants to attack. And I think that's going to lead to a good year.
And guys, the season being back means that we have some of the best shows in Commanders Land back, which means the game plan with head coach Dan Quinn is back. Let's hear from our fearless leader from this week's game plan.
We wanted guys who just had really high standards, man, like that we're going to absolutely go for it. That's what we stand for here, and we thought if there's chances for us to elevate and do that, like we're going to. And guys like Wise and Jones, man, they have that standard. You watch them practice, the details with it. So how can you not help but get better if you're a young player seeing that, following that? Can you keep up? Because it's hard. And this is the hardest thing for the rookies they've ever done. This is the hardest thing, and there's not even close. And so for them to fight it, and now they're here in the regular season, and the next step to go. So Jaden made it look easy, and Samer still did, and Logan can account to this. Like, as a rookie, this is the hardest thing we've ever done. And it's fun, it's tough, but it's really hard.
Excited for another season of the game plan with Coach. Now, it's time for your winning numbers brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. And here's the numbers you need to know. We've got content for you 7 days a week for the best fans in the NFL. Monday, we got Booth Review. Tuesday, it's the Get Loud podcast. Wednesday is the Command Center podcast, which is up for a People's Choice Award. Thursdays, we have the flagship show, Command Center. And then Fridays, we have my show, Next Man Up. And then Saturdays, we got the Players Club. And Sunday, the Game Plan. 7 days a week, content on content on content, all for the best fans in the NFL. Fellas, Mr. Doug Williams had a special honor this past weekend. Mr. Doug, as we love to call him, co-founder of the Black College Football Hall of Fame and a 2011 inductee, recently received the President's Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, fellas, this award is considered the highest civilian recognition in America for service and volunteerism. The award was established, and quote, to honor volunteers who give thousands of hours per year to helping others. That includes areas such as mental health and wellness, job readiness and creation, mentorship and program development to help communities at risk. A true honor for a man who changed the game that we all love forever. Fellas, legend, Mr. Doug Williams, man, what an honor. And we all know, we've all been affected by Mr. Doug Williams because of how he affected the game that we love so much. Man, how great is it to see him get what they said is the highest honor a civilian can get?
You know, I think it's great. I think one of the things that you fail to realize is who Doug Williams is when you're walking around this building. He's giving us little pounds. You know, he's regular Doug Williams to us, but he's not. You know what I mean? And I always have that kind of sense about him when I'm around him. I'm almost feel like I'm talking to somebody who one day I'm gonna be seeing the statue of. You know what I mean? So it's a great honor for him, man. And just knowing who the man he is, the man he is, man, it's even better just knowing that.
It's been a privilege to be around Doug, just to share time with him, share stories with him. Great guy. I love the fact that I see him because we travel a lot together because our daughters play basketball with each other. So I have a lot of intimate time with Doug. Great guy. Everything that's coming to him and everything that already came to him, he deserved it all.
Yeah, just a gracious human being. Couldn't happen to a better person.
Couldn't happen to a better person. Shout out to Mr. Doug, our guy, Doug Williams, a true leader in civil rights and this game. He deserves this honor and command his family. We will see y'all next week on our flagship show, Command Center. Mr. 8 to the 9, Fred Smoot, Logan Paulson on BC. We out this thing.
It's good to be number 17 these days.
Command Center was filmed at the Big Bear AI Command Center studio. Big Bear offers mission-ready AI for a rapidly evolving world, proudly protecting the Washington Commanders and its fans.